Donald Trump, former President Trump, on Tuesday endorsed Senator Tim Scott, a Republican from South Carolina, for his Senate re-election bid, right? And I'm surprised that he did this, that the president, well, maybe I'm not surprised, but I am not in support of the president. I am not in support of the president endorsing Tim Scott, Senator Tim Scott, because Tim Scott is a RINO Republican. He's a beta Republican. He's no different than the other RINOs. And so I'm not for them. I disagree with the president on this one. But he's still the great white hope. And I don't know why he endorsed. If it's true, it might not even be true. But I don't know why he did that. And he shouldn't have done that if he did it. He should not endorse Tim Scott. Tim Scott is a RINO. Here is from CBS, Tim Scott speaking on the original sin of racism and criticized Trump's speech on race. Watch this.
Do you think there's systemic racism, and how should we address it?
Well, there's no doubt that our nation, the original sin was that of racism. There's a reason why in the Constitution I was 3/5 of a man. The question is what's changed since then? We've made a lot of progress, but let's just be clear. There's a lot of progress still to be made. Never forget a black pastor who said, "I'm afraid for my life, but I'm more afraid for the life of my child when he's driving down the road."
Senator, you've spoken with the president. You told him that reportedly that you thought his first tweets calling some of the protesters thugs and that when the looting starts, the shooting starts was not constructive. Do you want him to address that? Has he indicated to you he will?
I do think he does.
What a RINO lying Republican. The original sin was not and is not racism. And whatever stupid pastor said he was afraid for his son driving down the road, that's a dumb pastor. This is why I can't believe that the president endorsed someone like that. A RINO, I'm sick of RINO Republicans. I'm sick of RINO. We need the real deal. These RINOs are going along with the Democrats. Tim Scott is lying. It's not about racism. And if you're driving down the road and you're stopped by a cop, you're supposed to follow the instructions. You won't have any problems. And if they do give you a problem after you do the right thing, they'll wait to file claims and get justice. And so let me see. My PR guy, Ernest, just texted me. Who else is running that can win that seat? This guy is a beta, but in between him and a Democrat. How would you respond to that, Joel? Yeah. Before I put my little 2 cents on it. This is from my PR guy. Who else is running that can win that seat? This guy is a beta, but it's between him and a Democrat. And you say, and then Chris is coming to tell me what he would say about his response to that.
Whether I would want it to be a Democrat or a Republican? I don't know what's the question?
If hear what Tim Scott just said about the president, should the president have endorsed him?
No.
My expert, Joel, by the way.
I mean, it's hard to know based just off that. I don't know too much about Tim Scott. So
he's a beta, RINO. I know about him.
Well, I mean, if that's true that he's that way, then yeah, I mean, it just why would he endorse him? But it seems like, and I think maybe he does it to give people the benefit of the doubt, but it doesn't seem like he always makes the decent choices in the people he chooses. But as far as Tim Scott, I don't know. What's the difference between a Democrat and Tim Scott?
So how would you respond to my PR guy saying, who else is running that can win this seat? This guy is a beta, but it's between him and a Democrat. How would you respond to that?
As far as who else is running?
Yeah, I mean, between he and a Democrat. Between Tim Scott, a so-called Republican, and a Democrat who was running for the same seat.
I'm not sure because I don't know too much about it.
Oh, okay. Chris is here. My social media guy, he white. First of all, what do you think about Donald Trump endorsing Tim Scott?
I think that was a mistake. I think sometimes this is just my speculation and just my observation. Trump tends to he sometimes endorses the wrong people because I think he's just once you kind of get involved in politics, you're kind of playing the game, so to speak. But that's just my observation. Yeah, there's not a lot of great options to choose from, and sometimes Trump just kind of goes with the Republican, like, oh, he was nice to me, you know. Trump is very much a you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back kind of a guy. So there's good and bad there.
And so my PR guy says, this guy is a beta, but it's who else is running that can win that seat? This guy is a beta, but it's between him and a Democrat. What do you say to that?
Well, we need to start, I mean, it's like we've been talking about for a while. We need to get involved and get these types of people out of there. I would, depending on how bad the candidate actually is. In this case, if I lived in wherever he's from, North Carolina or South Carolina. I would abstain from voting, even if that meant that a Democrat would win, because if at the time of the election there is no other option, the Republican losing is the first step into sending a message to Republicans in general that we're not going to go along with these types of candidates anymore. Even though we may, I don't know if suffer is the right word, because, I mean, Biden is the president right now, and, you know, my life hasn't gone to hell yet. I don't like that he's president, but, you know, I think that we need to not rely on the government so much. Obviously, we need to get involved so it doesn't completely overtake us, because that can happen after several years. The government can really start affecting your life, but we have to be involved.
My response to who else is running that can win that seat, this guy is a beta, but between him and a Democrat, it's between him and a Democrat, right? When you vote for Tim Scott, you voted for a Democrat.
Right.
When you vote for a RINO Republican, you voted for a Democrat. So let the Democrats have it. Since the RINO Republicans go along with the Democrats get away with anything they want to do. And you don't hear Tim Scott denouncing them or voting against them the way he goes against Donald Trump.
Right.
So you might well vote for a Democrat. What's the difference?
Yeah, exactly. When you played that clip, had you not said who it was, or the party that he's in, if you just listen to the words he's saying, I mean, I would just have said, like, oh, that must be some Democrat candidate or something, or a Democrat senator or congressman. I mean, those words I've heard time and time again.
Over and over and over again.
The original sin of racism. Oh, man, they just hold that over our heads, and we're playing their game as usual. We got
to stop playing the game. We can't keep voting them in just because they wear the title Republican.
Right.
But in their hearts, they're really Democrats. He goes on to say that statement was made a while back. This is my PR guy. Mm-hmm. And there's a difference between Tim Scott and a Democrat on issues. I don't believe it. they say it in their mouth, but in their heart, they vote with the Democrats.
Right. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Again, we may, if a Democrat gets elected, sure, we may suffer a little bit. The taxes might go up. They'll keep, spreading this, demoralizing kind of stuff in the culture and, the abortion stuff. Maybe they'll go after the guns, yada, yada, yada. But again, we'll never actually fix anything if we just keep taking these like, I guess I better just vote Republican. We'll just never get anywhere. We'll go in the same way we've been going.
And Nick says, I think Trump viewed Tim Scott as loyal because Tim Scott did not condemn him after the election. Washington Examiner is reporting Tim Scott said Trump is simply not guilty of insurrection. I don't care what you said about that. I understand, but
Yeah.
Any blacks that pushing this idea of racism, I would not vote for them.
Right.
I would not. Last thing, Bloomberg is reporting that Trump's advisors. Oh, Joel, this is from my other expert, Joel, first. Trump advisors have discussed identifying a black or female running mate for his next run. Trump, according to Bloomberg, Trump advisors have discussed identifying a black or female running mate for his next run. You say?
I think that there, in some cases, it's wise to play the game a little bit, right? Depending on knowing and understanding that you still have the say-so, and the power is still in your hands. Now, with the Biden and Kamala, we know where it stands. We know, the woman is, a big part of the reason why, he's in there. So in that case, obviously, okay, you drank the Kool-Aid. But in the sense of Trump being smart and wise, I think that it's not a bad idea to play the game a little bit so he can appeal to his appeal to the people. But yet he still has control over the woman who is in the seat. So as long as he has his thumb on it, then I don't see the problem with it. But if they go in and they take over and try to change everything, then, that's another thing.
Nick said that I wouldn't vote for Tim. He wouldn't vote for Tim Scott.
Good choice.
For the record. So what do you think about this? If it's true, because you can't trust the media anymore.
Yeah.
Trump advisors have discussed identifying a black or a female running mate for his next run.
Right. And what you said previously to that is you can't trust the media. I believe this is fake news. Basically, it's a narrative that they're trying to spin to either force the Republican hand, conservative Trump. It's leverage that they hold, like, oh, they put that information out there and they think, oh, well, maybe we better do it. If it's not, it could be fake news from the side of Trump putting that information out there just to kind of ward off the Democrats for a little bit.
But what if it's true?
But what if it's true? Then he's making a huge mistake. Then he shouldn't do it. I don't think he will.
What if the fraud didn't have a glass?
But we're speaking as if that's true, right? That's what
It's hard to believe because the media is so deceptive now.
Right.
And it could be like a setup.
Yeah, that's why I say that they know that if whatever the media says, that most of these Republicans they'll just follow suit.
Yeah.
Like they'll just do whatever they say.
Yeah.
So it could be fake news on the part of, Bloomberg, obviously very, very liberal. But then it also could be a strategy from Trump's camp. Oh, yeah, just put that information out there and it'll kind of stir up stuff.
Real fast. Should they be even considered talking about having a conversation with a black or a female?
No, absolutely not.
It should be the qualified person.
Yeah.
Who is the best man for the job?
Right. Man is the key component there. No, none of this woman stuff. But yeah, no, if that is true, I would say that's a mistake and he should reconsider.
Yeah. AC says there should be no AC. Used to be one of the waves of gray. That was before your days.
Okay.
He said there should be no other thought. Put the best Republican in there or vote for the Republican on the ticket. Ernest is right. Never give even a 1/2 of a vote to a Democrat. That sound good on paper, but the RINOs ain't gonna do nothing. You see how they treated the president when he was there. They wouldn't even help the guy. I'm not falling for it. I don't think there should even be a discussion about a black or female. Look for the best qualified person.
Well, that's
man.
But that's what's unfortunate, though. Those are the rules now, right? So now it's like, okay, how do we?
It's a Democrat rule. We don't have to go by those rules.
I know, but I mean, but this not
we are the Republicans.
True, but I mean, the world, the world is what I know, but but that's like, for example, like the world believes that, right? So how are we gonna change the world?
By setting the example. Don't go down the road with them.
But would they?
Don't speak like them. Don't go down the same road. We go the right road, and they'll see it.
So then, do you think people will elect you as president?
Yeah, they elected Donald Trump.
But I mean, like you said, like, oh well, my views are too strong. I don't know if they'll let me in.
I said that.
Yeah.
But I would still run.
Right, of course you still run, but
Yeah.
you know, like the world is so corrupt now. It's like, okay, well,
But good will always overcome evil.
Right, but you know, we still got to be.
There's a time and a place for strategy where it's kind of in the place where Joel is talking about. There's a time for strategy, but we're kind of in the 11th hour here. You know, we're on the edge, and
Right.
we need to push back instead of playing like kind of a
As
soft
my
defense.
grandparents would say, we need to piss or get off the pot.
But I think we'll lose. I think we lose when we try to go gung ho full force with it.
But
Because
that's
the world
ye
has
of little
changed
faith.
so much.
Oh, ye of little faith.
yeah, exactly. But that's you know, we've been doing this stuff for decades now, and it's gone too far. We have to push back, and we have to become anti-fragile. We have to not
That's for
rely. Yeah, we can't rely on the government so much, but we do have
Whatever.
to fight back against them
Whatever.
in a legal way, totally legal way.
Whatever. That's always the way out.
Fight with words.
All right. Thank you, guys. My experts.
Thank you.
My experts.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Earl is out of Michigan. Earl, amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.